Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at a capitalization rule dealing with directions used as place names, but not compass directions. Now, this is one of those rules that can be very confusing for people, so try to pay close attention to the examples that I give you to help this to kind of sink in and make sense. All right, so here's the way that this rule works. If a direction is used as a place name, then you do capitalize it. If a direction is used to describe a direction, it's used as a compass direction, then you do not capitalize it. Let's take a look at some examples so that we can make sense of this. All right, the first one, we lived in the Southwest for 10 years before moving back to the Northeast. So when we're talking about the United States, we reference the Southwest, and we're usually talking about that New Mexico and Arizona area, okay? So Southwest is a proper noun because it's referencing a specific place. Northeast, we're usually talking about up there, up in that New England area when we talk about Northeast. And so when we talk about Southwest and Northeast, we're talking about specific places as opposed to general places. So we're using those words in the way that we would capitalize them. Next example, turn left at the grocery store, then east at the gym, and you will see the house on the north side of the street. Now here we've used two directions. We've got east and we've got north that are referenced in here, but neither of them are specific in a title, so we're not going to capitalize either of them. Next example here, I have always loved Southwestern art, especially from Santa Fe. So Southwestern is capitalized because it's referencing that specific thing. It's referencing a very particular kind of art. And Santa Fe is capitalized for a different reason. That's the name of a city. So we're going to capitalize that too. Let's take a look at some more examples so we can kind of make some more sense of this. I'm personally the kind of learner that I learn a lot more when I can see examples, when I can see how other people have done it. It helps me to get that information to sink in. So hopefully this is helpful to you too. So next example, we drove north into Wyoming to get to Utah because that was the faster route. So here I'm using the word north, but I'm not using it as part of a title, so I'm not going to capitalize it. I am capitalizing we because it starts a sentence, and I'm capitalizing Wyoming and Utah because they're referencing states, they're referencing places. But otherwise, I don't capitalize north there. Next example, I think the author lived in North Denver before moving to the Southeast. So here I'm referencing North Denver is a part of Denver. We call it North Denver. And if someone were to say, hey, have you ever been to North Denver? They're actually talking about a specific group of neighborhoods. That's a particular part of the city. So because of that, because it's part of a title of where when we talk about Denver, we're talking about a specific area. We're not just generally talking about the north end of Denver or something like that, or things north of Denver. We're talking about specific neighborhoods, specific streets, and so forth. So that is capitalized. Same thing with Southeast. We're talking about a particular part of the country. Okay, next example. Personally, I like the architecture on the east side of town better than the west. So here we're talking about things generally, but not specifically. We're not using that in terms of a title. So we're saying the general area of the east side versus the general area of the west side. And our last example, she loved all things about Western Montana, cowboy poetry, big hats, and barrel racing. Okay, Western Montana is referencing a specific part of the state. And because of that, because it's a title, we're going to capitalize. So this is one of those rules that can get to be a little bit confusing. But if you can think with the idea that if a direction is given as part of a place name, then you do capitalize. But if it's given as part of a compass direction, like turn east and then turn right, and then turn north or something like that, we do not capitalize. I hope that information helps you, and good luck with your writing.